Welcome back to the Smith and Burke Show podcast. I'm Smith and he's Burke.
It's true.
Today we've got a special fourth episode. We are going to be discussing the best wizards of all time.
Yeah. I'm actually excited about this one. I feel like wizards have been like an underlying theme for like our friendship. Like it's just I don't know why.
Well,
Why?
for the very brief time that I used Instagram, I was Smith the Wizard. So I mean, I do know a little bit about
Is
wizards.
that handle still out there?
Yeah.
So
I think so. I haven't used it.
Caleb.
Yeah, follow Smith the Wizard.
Smith the
you
Wizard.
won't get followed back.
Okay. Is it private?
I don't know. I don't use it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so why wizards?
I don't know. I mean, it started, I think, with Harry Potter. But you weren't allowed to watch Harry Potter as a kid.
True.
So here was you not being able to watch Harry Potter. I grew up on Harry Potter. And you weren't, there was this time, you know what I'm going with, you know where I'm going. You weren't allowed to watch Harry Potter because it was too scary, too violent. I don't necessarily know if it was the magic aspect, it was just the violence that your mom didn't like. So what I do is, you come over to my house, what do I do is I show you like the worst to see. I show you Harry Potter in the Chamber of Secrets where he stabs the snake. Like that was back in what was that was probably 2006.
Yeah.
So there was probably only like 3 and 4 were out. So like I showed you one of the most violent scenes that was out at the time. This was before it got darker. So like that was. I think I also showed you. The beginning of it. I think I showed you the very beginning and the very end. Yeah. And I was like, don't tell your mom, but...
You were like, this part isn't that bad. And it's like the only part in the movie where like there's blood.
Yeah, somebody literally... the only part in the whole series where somebody gets stabbed. Well, so not, I guess, Dobby. Yeah. But besides Dobby, the only other time someone gets stabbed, that's what I showed you when you weren't allowed to watch it because it was violent. So, yeah. But...
And I remember seeing... because my only thoughts of Harry Potter at the time were what you had shown me, and it was the scene of where Harry's talking to the toilet, and he's like, "Sauce," and I just stuck with me forever.
Pretty sure it was a sink, but yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
The mind sees what it wants to.
I guess so. Yeah. So, but you were allowed to watch Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
So how were you allowed to watch Lord of the Rings and not Harry Potter? So maybe it wasn't... I mean, that one I don't understand. So you grew up with Gandalf.
Yes.
I grew up with Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm sure my brother watched Lord of the Rings, but I still don't. I'm still not the biggest fan. So I've still only seen it a few times. But so how does that affect our childhood growing up and with the way we viewed wizards, whereas when I had the Harry Potter, where you had Lord of the Rings. So those are kind of the two big ones that we knew. I mean, what would you say would be a striking difference between those two wizards and how they would affect a kid growing up who watched them?
Whoa. Why that last part? So heavy. I think, so before Lord of the Rings, I saw the cartoon, the 80s Hobbit movie.
Yep.
Fire movie, by the way. I think it's from the 80s. It was on VHS. But Gandalf in that is he's I don't know. I mean, everybody, I mean, his role, right? He's an advisor helping the main people get to where they're going, but he's kind of viewed as this all-powerful being, and everything's good when Gandalf's there, but as soon as Gandalf disappears, that's when trouble starts. That's when it hits the fan. That's when all you want is Gandalf to come back. And so it was just in my mind. I was like, wizards are powerful, and but they were also wise, because he has that whole persona in the Hobbit movie, especially. And then the only other wizard that I had real exposure to at the time would have been Merlin from Disney's Sword in the Stone.
Well, you had I'm gonna get you had Saruman. He was also...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he was kind of the polar opposite of Gandalf.
Right.
But yet he still had the wisdom I mean,
Yeah.
the wizards in Lord of the Rings are definitely very...
They're all Dumbledores.
Yeah, they're very stoic, very thoughtful, very wise. I mean,
Yeah.
wise is just the best word to use to describe them.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like with Harry Potter, it's like the thing that makes Dumbledore so wise isn't the fact that he's a wizard, it's the fact that he's the headmaster.
Right, because in Lord of the Rings, being a wizard was special, and that's, yes, being a wizard is what made, part of the reason why Gandalf was so wise and so respected, whereas in Harry Potter, everybody's a wizard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, except for a few people, so then those character traits aren't really, there's nothing really special about being a wizard in the Harry Potter series, because everybody's a wizard.
Yeah. When everyone's super.
No one will be.
Yeah. I think, go ahead.
That Lord of the Rings movie you watched, when did they come out? The 80s, you said?
The cartoon one came out in the 80s.
Yeah, so that's the one you watched. That's where they did like the weird, it had the super weird animations, right?
Yeah, they had the songs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what they did when they made that was they actually like filmed real actors, like real people doing the things, and then they like painted over, like they used the actions. They filmed you doing the actions, and then they used those actions and then drew over them, like like frame by frame.
Really?
That's why they look so like uncanny, because it's like drawn, but then like everything's really fluid and weird. And I think that's because they might call it rotoscoping. I don't remember what they call it, but that's how they originally did certain styles of animation. Is they would film it live action, and then they would just draw over that live action image to figure out how they did the animations instead of just doing it all out, like from their head, I presume.
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of blowing my mind. The thing is, so do the actors like look like the?
I don't know that much. I've seen clips of similar things that look like that, and that's the technique they used. And so looking back, how that looks, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing.
It is odd.
And then, yeah, it makes it look really odd. That's why nobody does it now.
I'm just worried if they look that way, because Gandalf's nose is like this long. It's like 6-7 inches sticking off his face.
I'm gonna guess they probably didn't look like what they drew then.
That'd be crazy, dude. And the Goblin King in that, holy cow! He comes over. He literally opens his mouth and goes to bite off Thorin's head. And Thorin's head is entirely inside of his mouth. So if they look the same, that might be a little odd.
Yeah, maybe some things were drawn from the imagination.
And then, did you ever watch that?
Just clips of it, like just.
Do you remember
just
what Gollum looked like?
No, I probably blocked it out. I know I've seen it because I know you would have shown it to me, but I don't remember.
Gollum singing in that is just so. It's iconic. All of the songs in there are iconic.
Yeah, that was one of your family's biggest treasures. Is that movie?
Yeah, but they weren't. I know we weren't allowed to watch it for a while, like just when we were like little kids, like 2 or 3. And I remember we were being babysat one day, and we got our babysitter to put the movie in for us. She didn't know we weren't supposed to watch it. And we had like no idea what it was. We were just told we couldn't watch that cartoon. Well, it's a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember it starts, and all we saw was like the Hobbit hole, like Bilbo's house, and a tree, and then Gandalf steps out from behind that tree, and we all got so scared we like ran out of the room. It was literally just Gandalf, like the good guy.
Right.
But so I feel like that's a difference in the wizards, though. Just like kind of bring it all back, is in Harry Potter the wizards are the adventurers. Like it's about Harry Potter and his friends,
right,
learning how to become wizards. So you could connect to the wizards in a very personal way.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you running around with a wand or anything, a stick, and going, Wingardium Leviosa.
Right, there's not many kids who grew up on Lord of the Rings that were running around being Gandalf, because
if
Gandalf...
they were just saying, you shall not pass!
Yeah, but most kids, you know, they wanted to be Aragorn or Legolas. They wanted to be Aragorn or Legolas, you know, or Frodo. I mean, well, I don't know how many kids wanted to be Frodo.
Yeah,
but you know, there's
Elijah would.
Yeah, but there's he'd make a good Frodo. But yeah, there's just a difference between.
I don't think he'd make the best Frodo.
Yeah, there's just a difference between those kinds of wizards. There's just, you know, Harry Potter wizards is everybody's a wizard. That's the main characters are all wizards. Whereas
He's a wizard in all of
Gandalf is the one that swoops in to save all of the wizards. What is another wizard? Like you got Merlin, you've got Gandalf, you got Harry Potter. You got
don't put me on the spot.
The Wizard of Oz. I mean,
okay.
That's another place to go.
That's a good one.
Is he even a real wizard? I mean, he's not even a real wizard.
That's true.
But he wanted to be.
Yeah.
He wanted to be like Harry Potter. He didn't want to be like Gandalf.
Yeah. I can't say, and that's what's odd about the whole wizard fascination just growing up is it's like Harry Potter was cool. Like with the houses and everything like that, you know. I mean, that was bigger for me in high school. But yeah, why? Because it's I guess it's just really been Gandalf that made the biggest impression with me. And then Skyrim also, like with Winterhold and all of that.
Right. Yeah, the Elder Scrolls.
Being able to be a wizard. Coolest video game ever.
Yeah, that's probably the only video game you've ever played where you could be a wizard. I mean,
yeah.
Because now they have the actual Harry Potter game.
Right.
That was an experience.
I haven't played that. Have you?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was good. Yeah, it was good. It was a little weird. Like they made you become you were like a student, but it was your first year at Hogwarts, but you were like 14. So they had to make you were like you missed your letter or whatever. So I think the only reason they did that is because they simultaneously wanted you to start out really low level so you could learn new spells as you're going, but then also you can take your broom and go out and go around all the grounds and stuff, and you can literally murder people with Avada Kedavra, and that wouldn't really make sense if you were a 11-year-old. It makes a slightly more sense as a 15-year-old.
That's true.
Still not that much sense, but. I mean, that lets you do whatever you want. You know, you can go around and cast Crucio on people. It's kind of crazy, but that was kind of a weird thing about it. I don't think the story was the best, but it was fun just because.
Sorry, go ahead.
You were just in a super, a PlayStation 5 graphic level rendition of the whole castle. You know, you could go through the whole castle anywhere. You could go down to where the Chamber of Secrets was. You know, you can go to the Great Hall. Everything just looks. It's just and everything's connected. You know, whereas in the movies and the books, you don't necessarily know how everything's intertwined and intermeshed. Even the movies had it different, where one movie stuff might be in different places than another, whereas this is obviously all one seamless connected thing. They had to do a lot of work to make it all one thing, which is kind of crazy.
That is cool. I didn't really think about that. Yeah. So you get to go to the forest.
Yeah, you can go to the forest. You can go to Hagrid's hut. You can go to Hogsmeade. All of it's all connected. Wow. Yeah, all of it's all connected without loading screens and different levels. Everything's the Great Hall. You can walk straight from the Great Hall to the Gryffindor Tower, and there's a whole route to it. So it was actually really impressive for that.
Wow. So how did that game do? Did the Harry Potter fans like it, hate it?
It sold a boatload when it came out. It came out in 2023, I think, in February, almost 2 years ago now. And it sold a lot, but it also didn't get a lot of recognition for it because of controversy with Harry Potter. There was a lot of people that on YouTube especially that would play it live streamers and things, and they were getting death threats because they were playing it because of everything with J.K. Rowling and all that.
Wow.
So it was actually kind of crazy controversial, but it sold really, really well. I think they're making another one, so they definitely made them money.
That's crazy. It's so weird to think how that would. I mean, it makes sense that it would all affect each other, but I wouldn't just think about that. But maybe that's my bad. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever watch? See, this is Merlin also. But do you remember that live action TV show that I watched called Merlin? I think it was on the BBC network or whatever.
Yeah.
We watched it on Netflix. That was a really good show. That show, it was kind of goofy. but it was also actually like genuinely funny and genuinely. It was genuinely a well written show with good character development. I'm not a film critic or anything, but it was a good show, and that was obviously based all around Merlin. But he actually, I feel like, since a lot of that show too, there wasn't even a lot of magic in it because the whole deal was he was in Camelot and he couldn't use magic because he could, if he did, he'd get killed. But he was working with Arthur, and that whole relationship, that was really good. That was like the only other big wizard media that I think I would have watched would have been that Merlin live action show from probably the 2010s was when it came out.
I remember you talking about that. I maybe watched a couple episodes. I think my sister got into it.
Yeah, it had like 6 or 7 seasons, I think.
Yeah. There aren't any wizards in Narnia, are there?
Well, there's the witch. There's the White Witch.
Right.
I mean, is Aslan considered
I guess
a wizard?
there's the magician.
Yeah, well, yeah, the magician's nephew, because that's his. Yeah, so there's wizards in Narnia, I guess. I just don't think it's not really.
It's not super.
It's not a focused on point.
Yeah.
The wizards, because there's magic. Everything, everything with Narnia is magic.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just don't think.
Like the wardrobe is wizard enough.
Yeah, like the closest thing you have to like you can't call Aslan a wizard because he's supposed to be Jesus, but he's like he's like the closest thing you have to a wizard.
Yeah.
I feel like in the mainstream of that. Besides the magician's nephew, his uncle's technically a magician, but he's still not really. He just knew how to make the rings or whatever that took them to Narnia the first time.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You know a lot of Narnia lore.
Yeah, I've read the books a lot actually,
Yeah.
so I know.
You had the whole
I had the whole
collection.
The acted audio tapes where they had the music and the sound effects and the different actors. That was really good. I really liked that. I've actually listened to them last year, and there's definitely focused on kids, but I still enjoyed listening to it because I had the nostalgia for it at that point. So then I don't know how it would be as an adult listening to it for the first time.
You put me on to some pretty good audiobooks.
Yeah.
Like the Narnia, The Walk,
and Harry Potter.
With Jim Dale.
What? Jim Dale is iconic. I don't know anybody who would choose Stephen Fry over Jim Dale. I'm sorry.
No, not for Harry Potter. No.
Yeah, I don't know what else they acted. I actually played the. Do you remember the GameCube Harry Potter game that my grandma had? Maybe you don't. But anyways, she had a GameCube and she had Harry Potter in the Chamber.
Do.
Yeah, Harry Potter in the Chamber of Secrets. I decided I never finished it as a kid because I couldn't. I wasn't physically good enough at like 5 years old to finish it. But so I went back and got it on my computer and played through the whole thing. It took me like 4 hours, But I feel like I played it for hundreds of hours as a kid and never finished it. But they actually had Jim Dale narrate like the cutscenes of it, like when after you finish like the tutorial at the Burrow. Then Jim Dale's voice just all of a sudden started talking about Harry like finishing up things and going to how. And I don't think it was from the book. I think he specifically recorded it for the game. So that was kind of crazy because I had heard that so many times as a kid. And then years later I listened to all the Jim Dale audiobooks, but I never was put 2 and 2 together until just recently.
Wow.
So Dumbledore and Gandalf in a fight. Who wins?
Oh my goodness. I would say Gandalf. I don't know why. He's just like super OP as a wizard, but at the same time, so is Dumbledore.
See, now, if you were going to do this, could Dumbledore cast Avada Kedavra? Because that spell shouldn't even exist. Because why? Yeah. The thing is, why is there there's just an insta-murder spell, but then it seems like nobody uses it enough. Like, why are people, like, when Voldemort fights Dumbledore in the 5th book, why is he, like, making, like, ice turn into spikes and fly at Dumbledore and, like, making, like, shields out of water and crap like that and shooting fire out of his mouth? Why is he doing all these things when he could just cast an unblockable spell that only will be beaten if Harry loves Dumbledore enough? Like, how stupid is that as a concept? That if you just are loved enough, you just won't die. That just means J.K. just like said all these people at Harry Potter that died and just nobody loved them. I guess because that is a really stupid concept when you think about it.
Really puts the Dobby to the test.
Yeah, nobody loved Dobby enough, I guess. Otherwise, Dobby should have blown up Bellatrix just by the pure love.
Was he Avada Kedavra though? Or I think.
No, he was just stabbed with the knife. I guess. Love doesn't save you from that.
Yeah, maybe that's why they do it, because they're aware that someone is loved.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's like, oh, could I Avada Kedavra?
Cedric Diggory, though, he was Avada Kedavra. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, sorry about ya. Yeah, I mean, Harry would have had to have loved Cedric, though. That was the only one who was there. And I think he still had a little bit of a grudge.
Yeah, I suppose
Just
so.
a little bit.
I suppose so.
Yeah. I mean, he was referred to as the Sparrow.
Oh, yeah, good times.
Kill the Sparrow. Poor Cedric. Nobody loved him.
Yeah. So, you think Gandalf would win?
See, I just have to stay loyal to Gandalf. I don't know why, because when I think about the way the magic works in each series, it's definitely a lot more aggressive in Harry Potter.
How does the magic work in Lord of the Rings?
It's like geographical.
What does that even mean?
like entire mountainsides and things like that. Like the building will collapse. Like it's not just like a poof of fire.
Right, but how do you?
It's like it.
The very grand.
It's like Thor's
spells.
hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how that equates.
I don't know either. I in my heart I know. I need to learn how to say it.
So it's very grand spectacle.
Cinematic. Yeah,
magic.
like there's an orchestra behind every spell.
Yeah.
What
is the most powerful spell that
geez.
that Gandalf has ever cast? Like, what is the most powerful thing that's ever done with magic? I guess come back from the dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say he did resurrect. So
he comes back. Can he do that indefinitely? Like, if Dumbledore Avada Kedavra could Gandalf just come back as Gandalf the Purple?
He'd be like Gandalf the I don't know.
The Silver? I don't know.
Because he goes from gray to white, and then he's done. Like he doesn't go to gold. Maybe he could.
He could go to gold if he gets
Gandalf
killed again.
The gold. That's the other thing. Like you kill Gandalf and he just gets more powerful.
Yeah, that is interesting. But then Saruman got killed. Why didn't he become Saruman the White?
It was a different death.
It has to be a more cinematic death.
Oh, do you think this is a good way to gauge this? Do you think that Dumbledore could fight a Balrog?
I don't know why you couldn't.
I can think of a couple reasons.
Okay. What is one of them?
He wouldn't know the difference between. I don't know. So, a Balrog is like an enormous. You know what a Balrog is?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I know of them. I've seen it. I've seen the movie.
So they're magical. Like they're already magical, and I don't know why. But I really feel I'm trying to think of comparisons.
Didn't he fight him on a bridge? Like wasn't there
he
the
fought
bridge?
him while falling.
Yeah. So why couldn't he just wait? Gandalf was falling mid-fight.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just
that fight continued after?
Why didn't he just
after they both fell?
See, and so why didn't Gandalf just fly back up?
I don't know if Gandalf can fly without his eagles, but he can apparate.
Gandalf can apparate.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not called apparating.
No.
So why didn't he just apparate back with the group?
Because they had to go through something without him. He said, "Fly, you fools!" He told them to get on the eagles, and they just didn't.
Why
listen.
didn't the eagles just take them to Mount Doom?
He told them right there.
I know that.
He told them there.
Why didn't they get on the eagles?
They missed it. They missed the point.
Oh no!
Gandalf was like, "I'm gonna fall so I can finish fighting this Balrog, so he doesn't come back and kill Dumbledore." And he let's go, but he had to tell them right before he fell. So he said, "Fly, you fools," and he let go. Okay, and what do we see? Gandalf comes back, and everyone's all scattered, and Boromir's dead, and it's a mess.
If he was Gandalf the Grey during the Hobbit and movies, what was he before Gandalf the Grey?
I saw I think there's the Rings of Power series, and I watched part of it. I haven't finished it, but
is he in that?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah. He falls from the sky.
Is he young?
Yeah, he's like.
I'm sure he's not played
he's
played
like
by
a giant.
He's not played by Ian McKellen, I assume.
No. He should be, but no, he's like this giant, and he's kind of like slow, and he's like becoming because like all the wizards are like sent there, and so it's like how he ends up.
Because wizards are like a race in Lord of the Rings.
There's only like 4, maybe 5.
Hmm.
There's Radagast, there's Saruman, Gandalf, and then there's like these 2 blue wizards they talk about, but we've never seen. I believe. In my heart. Yeah. I don't know. They're just cool. I don't know. I really feel like Balrog beats Dumbledore.
You feel like Balrog beats Dumbledore? I don't know. It all just depends on how the magic connects between different universes. Because again, just Avada Kedavra the Balrog.
I don't know if that would work.
But why wouldn't it work?
Because he's made out of rock and fire.
Could you cast Imperio on the Balrog, make him jump down into the chasm by himself?
Can you possess rock and fire?
Or when you both fall,
it's already possessed rock and fire.
Dumbledore he wouldn't tell them to fly, you fools. Dumbledore would just apparate back up after they fell and be like, all right, guys, let's get out of here. Yeah, he'd port key them to Mount Doom. It wouldn't be hard.
He'd turn the ring into a port key.
Or, yeah, there's no way Gandalf can apparate, because why wouldn't he just take Frodo, apparate to Mount Doom, throw the ring in, apparate back?
Because then we wouldn't see any of that awesome movie.
I don't know if apparition exists in Lord of the Rings.
Well, how does he get from everywhere to everywhere?
Magic? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm about talked out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where else to go from there.
But hey, I do want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to this episode. Episode 4.
Episode 4.
That's what's up. All right, we're gonna get back to you guys next week. Excited for episode 5 and 6. We're gonna be doing a couple of individual episodes where we're talking about we're going to be interviewing each other, so just talk a little bit about our lives and whatnot, introduce ourselves on the podcast a little more formally. Should be fun. Looking forward to seeing everybody then. Thanks so much for listening so far. We appreciate all the support thus far with Olinger Electric keeping the lights on. So
quite literally.
So yeah, thanks to Gavin for that. It was a blast having him last week. We do hope to have more guests on the podcast. So if that's something that you guys would like to have an opportunity at, just let us know in the comments and just shoot us an email, and we'd be happy to set something up. But yeah, thanks guys. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in.